I'll begin just by running this play. It's a first down completion to the tailback, and then we'll try to break it down. Georgia is in 11 personnel. We have one running back, one tight end. This is a trips closed formation with these three receivers tight or close. They're going to quick motion the number 3 receiver. He's going to stretch to the flat, and our left guard is going to pull and set in pass protection on the edge. After a play action fake to the back, we're going to see the quarterback boot or a short roll to the side, the same side as our puller and our quick motion receiver. It's also very important to point out this deep cross run by number 2 to this side. This route draws the attention of at least 3 different Bama defenders. This slot, these 2 safeties, one could even argue this will tries to get under it. So it's a very important, component of what makes this play swing ultimately. Again, the pull by the guard, the rollout, the deep cross, the quick motion all ultimately draw some attention away from the routes at the top of our screen that we're going to look at now. So we get our quick motion, our rollout by the QB. Important to see that he looks to this side of the field, turns his shoulders to that side of the field. And the concept that's being employed by Monken and by Georgia here is a basic flood concept. What is meant by that is a 3-level vertical stretch. What is typically done with the back, and what I think makes this play particularly interesting, is the back is typically going to fill out the bottom part or the flat route in this 3-level stretch. Monken has him running the short corner and filling out the middle part of this vertical stretch, which I think is a little bit unusual. The tight end here is going to down block and then release. He takes on what is typically the role of the back out of the backfield and runs a route to the flat. Just a nice twist on this concept with a lot of eye candy bells and whistles. Once again, I'll point out the role that number 2 plays here. Pulls that slot away. Really, nobody takes the back. You can see there's a lot of attention being drawn to this route. And the back comes open. There's probably an alert to this vertical first, and he's reading it top to bottom. He's also throwing back across the field. More often than not, what you see is a rollout and the flood to the same side as the rollout. So really interesting, interpretation of this concept by Monken and Georgia. We see the same concept versus TCU. Trips, a little bit wider splits on the trips, but you get 11 personnel. Quick motion to that side of the field. A rollout by the quarterback with eyes to that side of the field. A deep cross by number 2. It may even be the same receiver. And then what amounts to a blown coverage to this side. One thing I'll point out, let me see if I can get a good image of it. What a good example this is of stretch, both vertical and horizontal, and how this picture in front of us really highlights what we're constantly hearing Monken and the Ravens preach of late, that idea of space. Watch it again. Here's a flood concept with the running back fulfilling what I consider a more traditional role, which is the flat route. He actually runs a burst here out of the backfield. Interesting that the slot or wing is actually the vertical look. He runs a wheel route, and that they have the Z at the bottom of our screen, more or less running a rub against a cover 1 look on defense. Watch it again. This is just an awesome play fake by the quarterback as he keeps and rolls out. They were selling a version of counter with the guard and the tight end once again. They like this trip slot close formation. We see the guard pull the tight end with this faux pull, where he bends out of that and becomes the flat part of a flood concept. I love how they take the number 2 receiver, block him down, and fade him to that side of the field too. The back ends up being this horizontal stretch to the flat to this side. Again, very, very nice use of space in these wide receiver routes. Watch it again.